Number 1. John Penton. He was an American off-road motorcycle competitor and entrepreneur who launched an enduro motorcycle line under his own name. A national enduro champion, he was regarded as a pivotal figure in advancing off-road racing in the United States during the 1960s. He also founded a successful business specializing in off-road riding boots and gear. Penton was honored with induction into the AMA Motorcycle Hall of Fame in 1998. His competitive career dated back to 1948, when he took part in the demanding Jack Pine 500-mile enduro. During that race, he was struck by the strong performance of the BSA motorcycle ridden by the eventual winner. Penton also contributed to the development of off-road riding gear. Working with the Italian company Alpinestars, he helped design a motocross boot that went on to become one of the top-selling off-road boots in the United States. He was born 1925 and died September 7th. He was 100 years. Number 2. David Baltimore. An American biologist and academic administrator, he shared the 1975 Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine. He spent much of his career as a biology professor at the California Institute of Technology, where he was appointed president in 1997. Earlier, he founded the Whitehead Institute and led it beginning in 1982. And in 2008, he served as president of the American Association for the Advancement of Science. He guided a large number of graduate students and postdoctoral researchers, many of whom went on to build influential scientific careers. Along with the Nobel Prize, his recognitions included the National Medal of Science, awarded in 1999, and the Lasker Award in 2021. In 1973, he received an American Cancer Society professorship in microbiology, a position that offered significant salary support. He was born 1938 and died September 6th. He was 87 years due to cancer. Number 3. Spencer Taylor Jr. He was an American gospel musician best known as the longtime lead singer of the quartet The Highway QCs. Beginning his career in the 1950s, he became widely regarded as the godfather of gospel quartet singing and was among the genre's longest active performers. He started performing at the age of 8 with his family group, the Taylor Family. Following his graduation from Natchez College, he relocated to Chicago in 1948. After a period of service in the United States Army and a short stint working for the Postal Service, Taylor decided to devote himself entirely to a music career. During the 1970s and 1980s, the QCs recorded several albums for Savoy Records, such as You Don't Know How Blessed You Are and Something's on My Mind. They later signed with Malaco for Winds Records, releasing projects including It Hasn't Always Been Easy and Work a Miracle, 2010. He was born 1928 and died September 5th. He was 97 years due to cancer. Number 4. Christoph von Dohnanyi. A German conductor, he gained prominence as the music director of the Cleveland Orchestra. From 1957, he held the position of General Music Director, GMD, at the Lübeck Opera, becoming the youngest person in Germany to do so at the time. Prior to his appointment as the Cleveland Orchestra's 6th music director, Dohnanyi appeared as a guest conductor with several U.S. ensembles, among them the orchestras of Detroit, Pittsburgh, and New York, and also led the Cleveland Orchestra in its annual gala concert and in recording sessions at Severance Hall. In 1994, he took on the role of principal guest conductor with London's Philharmonia Orchestra and was promoted to principal conductor 3 years later. He also collaborated extensively with the Vienna Philharmonic, conducting both its concerts and performances at the Vienna State Opera. He was born 1929 and died September 6th. He was 95 years. Number 5. Davey Johnson. He was an American baseball player and manager who spent most of his career at second base. Johnson played in Major League Baseball from 1965 to 1978, most prominently with the Baltimore Orioles during their championship run that produced 4 American League pennants and 2 World Series titles between 1966 and 1970. Afterward, he spent 2 years competing in Nippon Professional Baseball before returning to MLB with the Philadelphia Phillies and Chicago Cubs in 1977. Over his career, he collected 3 Rawlings Gold Glove Awards and made 4 appearances in the All-Star Game. With Baltimore, Johnson appeared in the World Series in both 1966 and 1971, earning a championship ring in the 1966 victory. He captured the American League Gold Glove Award in each of his final 3 years with the team. In 1969, his partner at shortstop, Mark Belanger, was also honored, making them one of the rare middle infield pairs to secure the award during the same season. At third base, Brooks Robinson was continuing his remarkable run of 16 consecutive Gold Gloves at the same time. Died September 5th. He was 82 years due to long illness. Number 6. Rick Davies. He was an English singer, songwriter, and musician, recognized as the founder, lead vocalist, and keyboard player of the rock group Supertramp. As the band's only consistent member, he wrote several of their most famous tracks, such as Rudy, Bloody Well Right, Crime of the Century, and I'm Beggin' You. His style was marked by blues-based rhythmic piano work, progressive rock infused with jazz elements, and lyrics known for their cynicism. At the age of 8, he first showed an interest in music after his parents gave him a used radiogram that came with several records from its former owner. In 1966, he took on the role of organist for the Lonely Ones, a group once associated with Noel Redding, though Redding had departed before Davies joined. The band later renamed themselves The Joint and went on to record music for several German film soundtracks. He was born 1944 and died September 6. He was 81 years due to cancer. Number 7. Bruce Luce. He was an American punk musician best remembered as the longtime frontman and bassist of the San Francisco group Flipper. Celebrated for his raw, sludgy, and deliberately slow sound, Luce played an influential role in underground punk and alternative rock, inspiring bands like Nirvana. Unlike most punk groups known for speed and aggression, Flipper carved a niche with a slower, weightier, and more unconventional approach. Their 1982 debut album, Generic Flipper, earned cult status in the underground. Luce biting, sarcastic vocals paired with Will Shatter's monotone delivery gave the band a distinct sound that would later shape the grunge movement. He was born 1959 and died September 5th. He was 66 years, due to heart attack. Number 8. Horst Kraus. Kraus first worked as a machinist at the Brandenburger Traktorenwerk before deciding on an acting career. At the age of 23, he entered the Ernst Busch Academy of Dramatic Arts, where he studied between 1964 and 1967. He was a German actor. During the 1990s, Kraus gained recognition in the crime drama Polizeirefe 110. After several guest appearances, he joined the main cast in 1999, portraying the good-natured police Sergeant Horst Kraus until 2015. The popularity of the policeman Kraus led to a 9-part television film series produced between 2007 and 2022, which centered not on his police duties but on his private life and family. In 2003, Kraus starred in the film Schulze Gets the Blues, which was screened internationally, including in the United States, where critic Roger Ebert praised it. He was born 1941 and died September 5, 2025. He was 83 years. Cause of death is not given. 1. Stuart Craig. He was a British production designer. He was best known for designing the sets of all 8 Harry Potter films, in collaboration with set decorator Stephanie McMillan. He was a British production designer, best known for designing the sets of all 8 Harry Potter films in collaboration with set decorator Stephanie McMillan. Over the course of his career, Craig was nominated for 11 Academy Awards, winning 3 for Gandhi, 1982, Dangerous Liaisons, 1988, and The English Patient, 1996. He also received 16 BAFTA nominations, winning 3 times, for The Elephant Man, 1980, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, 2005, and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, 2016. He contributed to The English Patient as well as several films from the Harry Potter franchise, including Philosopher's Stone, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and both parts of Deathly Hallows. Died September 7th. He was 83 years, died due to Parkinson's disease. Number 2. John Burton. An American political figure, he rose through the ranks of state and national politics, beginning with service in the California State Assembly and Senate. He later represented congressional districts based in San Francisco in the U.S. House of Representatives, and went on to lead the California Democratic Party as its chair. In 1988, Burton returned to the California State Assembly, where he served until reaching the term limit in 1996. He subsequently won election to the California State Senate, holding office until 2004, when he was again prevented from running by term limits. Throughout his legislative career, he was known for supporting progressive initiatives, including efforts to broaden healthcare access, strengthen environmental protections, and promote civil rights. From 1998 onward, he held the position of the 47th President pro tempore of the California State Senate. Died September 7th. He was 92 years, died due to a fall. Number 3. Alan Blickel. He was an American heavy metal drummer, best known as the founding drummer of the acclaimed Savannah, Georgia band Baroness. He played a pivotal role in shaping the band's early sound across their signature color-themed albums before departing in 2013 following a life-altering bus crash. In 2003, Blickel helped form the band Baroness together with vocalist John Baisley, guitarist Tim Luce, and bassist Summer Welch. In 2003, Blickel helped establish Baroness in Savannah, Georgia, together with John Baisley, Tim Luce, and Summer Welch. He performed as the drummer on the group's early releases, First, 2004, and Second, as well as on their first 3 studio albums, Red Album, 2007, Blue Record, 2009, and Yellow and Green, 2012. He was born 1983 and died September 7th. He was 42 years, died due to a serious bus crash. Number 4. Angela Ro-Ro. She was a Brazilian pianist, vocalist, and composer whose stage name, Ro-Ro, originated from the gravelly tone of her laugh and voice, a feature that became central to her artistic identity. Her musical style drew inspiration from celebrated figures like Ella Fitzgerald, Mesa Matarazzo, and Jacques Brel. Her self-titled debut record, Angela Ro-Ro, 1979, was later ranked among the greatest Brazilian albums of all time by Rolling Stone Brazil. During the early 1970s, under Brazil's military dictatorship, she spent time in Europe, living first in Italy and later in London. There, she took on small jobs to make ends meet while singing in local pubs. In 1971, filmmaker Glauber Rocha introduced her to Caetano Veloso, leading to her playing harmonica on his album Trança. Died September 8th. She was 75 years. Died due to severe lung infection. Number 5. Paul Baccaglini. He was a businessman and media figure of American birth who later built his career in Italy. Best known in sports circles, he became chairman of US Città di Palermo, the professional football club based in Palermo, Sicily. Baccaglini gained recognition for his unconventional style and work in Italian television. In 2017, he came into the spotlight when he negotiated a deal to purchase the Palermo Football Club from owner Maurizio Zamparini. Although an agreement was initially reached in March of that year, the planned acquisition collapsed by June before it could be completed. After ending his involvement in sports, Baccaglini pursued a career in radio. He joined Radio Padova and later spent 3 years at RTL 102.5, where he hosted the show The Groove. The program became recognized for its humorous approach, often using sarcasm and irony, and was noted for staging pranks on public figures for entertainment purposes. He was born 1984 and died September 10th. He was 41 years, died due to severe lung infection. Number 6. Brian Dayet. He played as an outfielder in Major League Baseball during the mid-1980s, spending parts of 5 seasons with the New York Yankees and later the Chicago Cubs. After leaving the major leagues, he extended his career overseas in 1988 by signing with the Nippon Ham Fighters of Japan's Nippon Professional Baseball. During the 1983 season, he topped the International League by hitting 35 home runs and recording 108 runs batted in with the AAA Columbus Clippers. His performance earned him a promotion to the New York Yankees at the end of the year. He was born 1957 and died September 7th. He was 68 years. Died due to Parkinson's disease. Number 7. Jaka. He was an American professional wrestler who competed on the independent scene from 2007 until his death. Over the course of his career, he became well regarded for his work with promotions including Evolve, Beyond Wrestling, and Game Changer Wrestling, GCW. Jaka entered the ring for the first time in August 2007 and soon established himself on the independent wrestling circuit. Over the years, he competed for a variety of organizations, among them Beyond Wrestling, Evolve, Game Changer Wrestling, Combat Zone Wrestling, Chikara, and Progress Wrestling. In Evolve, Jaka won the Evolve Tag Team Championship on 2 occasions as a member of the Doom Patrol, sharing the record with his tag partner. In 2013, he also claimed the WIF Banana Championship in wrestling is fun, after defeating Assailant. He was born 1986 and died September 7th. He was 39 years. Died due to heart attack. Number 8. Ted Mann. He was a Canadian-born writer and producer for television, best known for his contributions to the series NYPD Blue, Deadwood, and Crash, where he served in both roles. In 1995, he received a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Drama Series in recognition of his role on the 2nd season of NYPD Blue. Died September 4th. He was 72 years, died due to lung cancer. Number 9. Robbie Turner. He was an American pedal steel guitarist, recognized for his longtime collaboration with Waylon Jennings and for performing on recordings by numerous other musicians. Throughout his career, Turner performed, toured, and recorded alongside a wide range of musicians, among them George Jones, Chet Atkins, and Stevie Ray Vaughan. He later collaborated with contemporary acts as well, including Sturgill Simpson. Turner operated his own Nashville-based studio, Turner Up Recording, where Waylon Jennings recorded the 2012 release Goin' Down Rockin', The Last Recordings. He was born 1963 and died September 4, 2025. He was 62 years. Holly Holiday. She was an American actress whose career spanned stage, television, and film. She rose to fame in the 1970s for playing Florence Jean Flo Castleberry, a sharp-tongued waitress on the sitcom Alice, a role she later continued in the spin-off series Flo. Her signature line, "Kiss my grits," became one of the most recognized catchphrases from Alice. In 1984, Holiday received the Saturn Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance as Mrs. Ruby Deagle in Gremlins. She launched her professional acting career with the Asolo Theater Company in Sarasota, Florida, where she remained for a decade. In 1972, Holiday relocated to New York City, where she performed in Alice Childress's play Wedding Band at the Public Theater. Over a year later, she joined the cast of the successful Broadway production All Over Town. In 2000, she was honored with induction into the Alabama Stage and Screen Hall of Fame. Died September 9, 2025. She was 88. Died due to apparent bout of pneumonia. Chuck Coates. He was an American professional wrestler, known for his work mainly as enhancement talent in major promotions, WWF, WWE, WCW, and his long tenure on the independent circuit, especially in the Carolinas. He was respected for his versatility, longevity, and his role in helping elevate other wrestlers. Cared primarily as an independent wrestler, Coates wrestled for a variety of regional promotions such as NAWA, SAPW, and PWF in North Carolina. He competed under several ring names including Mad Max, Agent Max, Hans Hessler, the Russian Assassin, German Stormtrooper No. 2, and others. Died September 8, 2025. He was 63. Coates survived cancer 3 times during his adult life. He also endured significant health issues later, including heart problems following bypass surgery and several operations. Bruce Dumont. He was an American political analyst on syndicated radio and a television host based in Chicago, Illinois. He presented Beyond the Beltway, a talk radio program carried on 14 stations nationwide at the time it concluded in January 2025. The show, originally launched in 1980 under the title Inside Politics, also had a televised edition that ran on Chicago's secondary PBS affiliate, WYCC, from 1996 until the station ceased broadcasting. Dumont began his broadcasting career in 1968 as a producer at WGN 720 AM. In 1970, he briefly left radio to run, unsuccessfully, for a seat in the Illinois Senate, before returning to WGN to work as producer for Howard Miller, a well-known and often controversial radio host. He later shifted his career toward producing news features and documentaries for local television. A film he created on teenage suicide for WBBM-TV received an Iris Award from the National Association of Television Programming, while another project, addressing censorship in public libraries, was honored with the American Bar Association's Golden Gavel Award. Died September 10th. He was 81 years, due to cancer. Charlie Kirk. He was an American conservative activist, writer, and media figure. In 2012, he co-founded Turning Point USA, where he served as executive director and later became chief executive officer of Turning Point Action. He was also affiliated with the Council for National Policy. In his later career, he emerged as a leading advocate of the populist MAGA movement and was seen as a central figure in the rise of Christian nationalism within the Republican Party, up until his death in 2025. From its creation in 2012 until his death in 2025, Kirk served as the chief executive officer, primary fundraiser, and leading spokesperson for Turning Point USA, which he co-founded at the age of 18. The New York Times described his efforts as transforming the group into a well-financed media operation, supported by major conservative donors, including Wyoming businessman Foster Friess. On September 10, 2025, Kirk was fatally shot while addressing a Turning Point USA event at Utah Valley University. The appearance was part of his American Comeback Tour and took place at his well-known Prove Me Wrong table. Sally Satchza. She was an American actress, model, and photographer who appeared in roughly 20 films during the years 1964 to 1969. She made her film debut in 1964, playing a surfer girl in Muscle Beach Party. That same year, she was also seen in Bikini Beach and Pajama Party. Satchza appeared in numerous films, often alongside Patty Chandler, including Beach Blanket Bingo, 1965. She was born 1943 and died September 8. She was 82 years. Per Mattsson. He was a Swedish actor recognized for his wide-ranging performances across stage, film, and television. He is strongly associated with Dramaten, the Royal Dramatic Theatre in Stockholm, where he made his stage debut in 1972 and remained a frequent performer for most of his career. Mattsson has acted in several Swedish films and TV productions. Some of his known film credits include Fanny and Alexander, 1982, Slagskampen, 1984, Blueprint, 1992. He was born 1948 and died September 12. He was 77 years. At one point in the early 2000s, Mattsson suffered a serious illness affecting his brain. He was hospitalized for 6 months and underwent multiple brain surgeries. Neil Summers. He was an English-American actor and stunt performer, best remembered for portraying the rodent in the 1990 film Dick Tracy. He spent part of his youth in South Africa until about 1958, when his family moved to the United States. He started his career in 1963, going to Tucson, Arizona to work as a stunt extra in the film McLintock. Over the years, he performed stunt doubles for actors including Warren Oates, Roddy McDowall, Michael Anderson Jr., and Michael J. Pollard. Summers made appearances in a variety of television shows, among them Gunsmoke, Bonanza, Barnaby Jones, Death Valley Days, and Guns of a Stranger. He also authored books about westerns, stunt work, and the representation of the American West in film and television. He was born 1944 and died September 4, 2025. He was 81 years, due to natural causes. Tiana Mangakahia. She was an Australian basketball player who spent 2 seasons in the Women's National Basketball League before moving to the United States, where she played college basketball for Syracuse University from 2017 to 2021. Mangakahia first appeared in the Southeast Australian Basketball League in 2011 as a player for the Brisbane Spartans. That same year, she also entered the Women's National Basketball League with the Australian Institute of Sport. Mangakahia earned her first international appearance with the Sapphires at the 2011 FIBA Oceania Under-16 Championship held in Canberra, Australia. In April 2025, Mangakahia returned from retirement to play with the Southern District Spartans in the NBL 1 North season. She was part of the squad that reached the grand final, though she did not take the court in the 3-game series loss to the Logan Thunder. She was born 1995 and died September 11th. She was 30 years due to cancer. Ted Guvia. He served as the general manager of the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the Canadian Football League. He is a 3-time Grey Cup champion, having won with the Toronto Argonauts in 2012 and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in 2019 and 2021. He held the role for 2 seasons and captured his first Grey Cup title in 2012, when the Toronto Argonauts triumphed over the Calgary Stampeders in the 100th championship game. Died September 12th. He was 78 years due to cancer. Godinho. He was an American attorney who became the 2nd executive director of the National Hockey League Players Association, holding the position from 1992 until stepping down in July 2005. He completed his undergraduate studies at Harvard University in 1974 and earned a law degree from the University of Detroit in 1979. Godinho later served as the NHLPA's executive director throughout the 2004-05 lockout. In December 2007, TSN reported that Russian businessman Alexander Medvedev had brought Godinho on board to assist in developing a European hockey league intended to compete with the NHL. Died September 13, 2025. He was 72 years. Andreas Martin. He was a German Schlager singer and songwriter. Andreas Martin began his musical career in the early 1980s, establishing himself as a performer in the German Schlager scene. In 1980, he released his debut single Amore Mio, which marked the beginning of his rise in popularity. Throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Martin regularly appeared on popular German television music programs and participated in Schlager festivals, further cementing his reputation as a successful Schlager singer. He released several albums during this period, many of which entered the German music charts and contributed to his long-standing presence in the industry. Martin continued to release music into the 2000s, maintaining a loyal fan base with new recordings and live performances. His work reflects a mix of traditional Schlager sounds and modern pop influences, ensuring his relevance over several decades in the German music scene. He was born 1952 and died September 13th. He was 72 years. Jay Wynn. He worked as a weather presenter for the BBC, making regular appearances on BBC News 24, BBC Radio 4, BBC World, and BBC One. Wynne, born in London in 1968 to American parents, was educated at Ardingly College in West Sussex. He began studying civil engineering at Heriot-Watt University but left after 2 years, later spending 3 years employed as a technician on North Sea oil rigs. He began working for the Met Office in 1999, completing a 14-month training course that involved a 6-month assignment at RAF Nordholt. The program provided him with experience in both aviation forecasting and operational meteorology, after which he transitioned into broadcasting. In October 2000, he became part of the BBC weather team, first presenting forecasts on BBC World News and BBC Radio 4. Died September 12th, he was 56 years. Died after a long-term illness. Ricky Hatton. He was a British professional boxer active from 1997 to 2012, who later transitioned into work as a trainer and promoter. Over the course of his career, he captured several world titles in the light welterweight division and also secured a championship at welterweight. In 2005, he was honored as Fighter of the Year by The Ring magazine, the Boxing Writers Association of America, and ESPN. Hatton captured the British light welterweight championship in 2000, and the following year added the World Boxing Union title. Beginning in 2001, he went on to defend the WBU belt 15 times, setting a record for the division. Hatton's time as an amateur was brief, but he claimed 7 national titles and competed for Britain at the 1996 IBA Youth World Championships. In March 2007, Hatton was a guest on Friday Night with Jonathan Ross. That same year, he was appointed MBE in the New Year Honors for his contributions to sport. Died September 9th, he was 46 years. Cause of death has not been released. Jim Edgar. He was an American politician who became the 38th governor of Illinois in 1991. A centrist Republican, his earlier career included service in the Illinois House of Representatives beginning in 1977, followed by a term as the state's 35th Secretary of State starting in 1981. He started his political career as a legislative aide before winning election to the Illinois House of Representatives in 1976, securing re-election 2 years later. During his second term in 1979, Edgar was named Director of Legislative Affairs for Governor Jim Thompson. Amid the Republican wave of 1994, he secured re-election by a wide margin against Democratic State Comptroller Dawn Clark Netsch, carrying 101 of Illinois' 102 counties, among them Cook County. He was born 1946 and died September 14th. He was 79 years, due to pancreatic cancer. Bobby Hart. He was an American singer, musician, and songwriter, recognized primarily as part of the duo Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart. During the 1960s, the pair became one of the era's leading pop songwriting teams, creating and producing a number of hits for artists such as the Monkees. Hart launched his career in the late 1950s, starting out as both a performer and songwriter. In the early 1960s, he teamed up with Tommy Boyce to create the duo Boyce and Hart. The partnership found notable success composing songs for other artists, among them Jay and the Americans and Chubby Checker. In addition to his work with Boyce, Hart pursued solo projects and continued writing for other artists throughout the 1970s and 1980s. He later became involved in political and social causes, while still making occasional appearances tied to his musical legacy. Died September 10th, he was 86 years due to a long illness. Viv Prince. He was an English drummer who performed with several bands during the 1960s, most notably the Pretty Things. Known for his eccentric and unpredictable antics, he drew considerable public attention to the group and went on to influence drummer Keith Moon. Prince began his professional music career in 1961 as a member of Lenny Baldwin's traditional jazz group, the Dauphin Street Six. With the band, he toured Denmark and made his first recordings the following year. Died September 11, 2025, he was 84 years. Gerard Cox. He was a Dutch performer known for his work as a singer, cabaret artist, actor, and director. For 15 years, he portrayed the main character in the Dutch sitcom Toon was Jellic Heel Jiwoon. His first screen role came in 1977 with the film Het debut, directed by Nootje van Brakel. In 2018, Cox took on a main role in the RTL4 comedy travel series Better Lot dan Nut, in which he journeyed around the world alongside fellow Dutch celebrities Peter Faber, Willebroord Frequin, and Barry Stevens. In 2020, he appeared in a film project that also featured his former wife, Joke Burgess. The two had divorced in 1987 after concluding their relationship was better as friends. In 2022, they reunited on screen in the film Casa Coco. Died September 13, 2025. He was 85 years due to esophageal cancer. Eddie Giacomin. He was a Canadian ice hockey goaltender who competed in the National Hockey League from 1965 to 1978, playing for the New York Rangers and the Detroit Red Wings. He launched his professional career in 1959, appearing in 4 games for the Washington Presidents of the Eastern Hockey League. The team had initially recruited his brother Raleigh, who was unable to participate due to work obligations, and recommended Eddie in his place. Giacomin had earlier played short stints with the Clinton Comets in 1958. After recovering from severe burns sustained in a kitchen accident, he secured a spot with the Providence Reds in 1960. Died September 15, 2025. He was 86 years due to esophageal cancer. Roger Klimpson. He was a British-born Australian media personality who enjoyed a lengthy career in both radio and television as a journalist, announcer, newsreader, weather presenter, and host. He began his career as a radio actor and later appeared in theater and television productions. Following his mainstream media career, he transitioned into Christian broadcasting. Klimpson was a news presenter with both the 9 Network and the 7 Network, serving as a prominent face of 7 News during the 1980s. He also hosted several popular programs, including the Australian edition of This Is Your Life and the true crime series Australia's Most Wanted. Klimpson began his career in local theater radio, appearing in numerous radio serials, including Caltex Theatre. With the advent of television in Australia in 1956, he joined Channel 9, where he worked as an announcer, weather presenter, and newsreader. He was born 1931 and died unfortunately on September 17th. He was 93 years. Marilyn Haggerty. She was an American newspaper columnist for the Grand Forks Herald, where she began writing in 1957 after her husband, Jack Haggerty, became the paper's editor. Haggerty gained national attention in March 2012 when her review of a newly opened Olive Garden restaurant in Grand Forks, North Dakota, was picked up by online news outlets and quickly went viral, attracting both criticism and praise. Her sudden popularity led to a collaboration with Anthony Bourdain, who contributed the foreword to her 2013 book Grand Forks, A History of American Dining in 128 Reviews. Haggerty received several honors following her rise to national prominence. In 2012, she was awarded the Al Newharth Award for Excellence in the Media. 5 years later, in 2017, she was presented with the UND Spirit Award by the University of North Dakota Alumni Association and Foundation. Hansen started her professional path in the 1940s while still in high school, taking a position with the Capital Journal in Pierre, South Dakota. Died unfortunately on September 16th. He was 99 years due to a stroke. Marilyn Nolden. She was a child actress in the United States who entered Hollywood in 1931 at the age of 4. During the 1930s, she built a career as an independent performer, appearing for several of the leading film studios of the period. Her credits included roles in Imitation of Life, Les Miserables, and Angels with Dirty Faces. Over the course of her career, she shared the screen with noted actors such as Katharine Hepburn, James Cagney,
well, she's our prize history student.
Within a span
At home,
of 7
she can't
years,
remember to brush her
6 of
teeth.
the productions she appeared in received nominations for the Academy Award for Best Picture. Died sadly on September 15th. She was 99 years. Joke Bruges. She was a Dutch performer known for her work as an actress, singer, and cabaret artist. Over the course of her career, she collaborated with prominent big bands, made several recordings, and appeared in both films and Dutch television productions. She became popularly known as the First Lady of Rotterdam. In 2009, she joined the cast of a long-running Dutch soap opera. The following year, she reprised her role on the series, portraying the mother of Rick and Danny de Jong. Her character was later written to have moved to Canada, but she made a return to the storyline in 2018. She was born 1952 and died sadly on September 16th. She was 73 years, due to Parkinson's disease. D. Lewis. He was an American professional football player who played as a linebacker for the Dallas Cowboys in the National Football League. Before his professional career, he played college football at Mississippi State University and was chosen in the 6th round of the 1968 NFL Draft. In recognition of his achievements, Lewis was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2001. Lewis received multiple honors during his college career, including selection to the SEC All-Sophomore Team, All-SEC, SEC Defensive Player of the Year, and UPI Second Team All-American in 1967. In 1968, he was recognized as the university's outstanding athlete. Following his senior season, he was invited to participate in the Senior Bowl, the Coach's All-America Game, and the Blue-Gray Football Classic. Died sadly on September 16th. He was 79 years. Donald Oliver. He was a Canadian lawyer, real estate developer, and politician. In 1990, he was appointed to the Senate of Canada by Prime Minister Brian Mulroney. Oliver became the first black man to serve in the Senate and the second black Canadian to be appointed to the chamber. Part of his ancestry traced back to African-American slaves who, following the War of 1812, were relocated to Canada by the British from the United States. A long-serving member of the Progressive Conservative Party, Oliver worked as the party's director of legal affairs in 6 federal elections beginning in 1972. He later became a federal vice president of the party and sat on the board of its fundraising arm, the PC Canada Fund. Died sadly on September 16th. He was 86 years due to cancer. Hermeto Pascoal. He was a Brazilian composer and multi-instrumentalist, widely recognized for his skills in orchestration and improvisation. Pascoal also worked as a record producer and collaborated on numerous Brazilian and international albums. Pascoal was self-taught on piano, woodwinds, and percussion. By the late 1950s, he had relocated to southern Brazil, earning a living as a musician in Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo. Died on September 13th. He was 89 years due to multiple organ failure.